Now, let's turn to Gaza's people, the human beings at the heart of this story. For them, this isn't a geopolitical chess move or a military strategy session. This is life or death, home or exile. Imagine for a moment, you're a parent. In Gaza City, it's midnight. There's no electricity, so your world is lit only by candles and the distant glow of fires on the horizon. You can hear the dull rumble of Israeli tanks massing outside the city and the ominous buzz of drones overhead. Could you sleep? Thousands of families in Gaza cannot. They are gripped by sleepless nights, paralyzed by a single question. Will we be forced to flee again by morning? In the battered districts of Gaza City, places like Al-Rimal, Shujaiya, and the remnants of the Jabalia camp, families huddle together in what shelter remains. Some shelter in the shells of bombed-out apartment blocks, the concrete cracked and windows blown out, a cold wind carrying the smell of smoke. Others cram into makeshift tents in courtyards or crowd into UN school buildings turned refugee shelters, where each classroom now holds dozens of people. Everywhere, the atmosphere is the same, an overwhelming mix of fear, exhaustion, and grim resolve. Children cling to their mothers, too terrified to close their eyes. They've seen and heard things no child ever should. Mothers and fathers exchange worried glances, whispering about where they might run if the soldiers come. But deep down, they know there's nowhere to run, not within Gaza. The south is not safe. Gaza City is not safe, the north is not safe. Where should we go? One displaced woman, Magzuza Sada, vented with anguish. Do we throw ourselves in the sea? It was not a literal question, it was the voice of pure despair from a mother who has watched every refuge turn into a trap. Her family was already bombed out of their home in Beit Hanun in the north, then shelled out of a shelter in another district. Now, hearing that even Gaza City might be emptied, she feels completely cornered. And she's far from alone. There's a palpable sense that another Nakba is about to unfold, a new catastrophe akin to 1948, when hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were expelled from their towns. That historical trauma lives in these families. Collective memory. Grandparents tell the young ones stories of how their own parents lost homes in Yaffo or Ashkelon decades ago and never returned. They say, we won't let it happen again. But as Israeli jets roar intermittently overhead, and the crackle of gunfire echoes at the city's edge, the fear that it will happen again keeps everyone awake. Even when sheer exhaustion forces someone to doze off for an hour, nightmares jolt them back to consciousness, nightmares of soldiers breaking down the door, of being separated from loved ones in the chaos, of never seeing home again. The psychological torment is ceaseless. Every creak in the night, every distant explosion causes hearts to skip beats. Mothers check again and again that their children are close, some tying a rope loosely around wrists of their little ones and to their own, so they won't be separated if they have to run suddenly in the dark. Fathers gather, whatever meager possessions they still have, a family photo, some documents, a half-empty water jug, and keep them in a bag by the door, ready to grab at a moment's notice. No one truly sleeps, they just lie in wait. One father described it as waiting for an earthquake that you know is coming, but you don't know when. Outside, the city itself is like a ghost in these midnight hours. Streets that once bustled with life are now deserted and ruined. The only movement is the flicker of candlelight or a lantern through a shattered window, or the rare silhouette of a lone figure pacing on a rooftop, unable to rest. Occasionally, there's the howl of a dog in the distance or the sob of someone who just couldn't hold it in any longer. These sounds slice through the still night, reminders that tens of thousands of human beings are experiencing collective insomnia born of terror,